All right, looks like we're live. Hello, everybody. This is Daniel Barrett. How are you? Hope you are doing excellent as always. If you ever want to talk to me or my team about online marketing for motivated seller leads, you can always hit us up at motivatedsellerleads.com. That's where to go to jump on the phone with me and my team. Hey, I only have a couple minutes, so I wanted to go live to address Jolene, which is, I think, how you pronounce her name. But Jolene was asking a question in our Facebook group. And her question is, what do I do if I have a keyword in Google Ads that's not getting any impressions? So let's dig into this question. Now, first of all, if you're not familiar with the term impressions, an impression is just a view on the ad. So if the ad is visible on someone's screen when they search for something in Google, that ad will get an impression, right? So it's got to be visible. If you're all the way down at the bottom of the page and they never scroll down, you don't get an impression. If you're on page 2 and they stay on page 1, you don't get an impression. It's got to be visible on the person's screen. So what that means is that if a keyword isn't getting any impressions, that means nobody's searching for it or nobody is seeing the ad. And this is a critical distinction you have to understand. If a keyword is not getting any searches, okay, which means it's not causing any impressions, that's one problem. If a keyword is being searched for, but your ad is not being seen, which also means you get no impressions, that is a different problem. And there are limited ways to address this problem depending on which problem you have, but you have to know which problem you have. So the first thing I want to point out is that in Google Ads, there is a metric. If you go to columns and you modify your columns and you go to competitive metrics, there is a number in there called search impression share. Search impression share. This is a critical number to know because search impression share is the percentage of total possible impressions for that keyword that you received. So let's take an example, Dan Barrett topless calendar as a keyword, okay? Dan Barrett topless calendar. I ran ads on this keyword selling my Dan Barrett topless calendar, and which is called, by the way, Dan Bears It All. All right, I apologize. I apologize to all viewers of this video. Anyway, Dan Barrett topless calendar. This is the keyword. And I ran an ad in Google with the keyword Dan Barrett topless calendar, and I got 0 impressions. Okay, so my problem, I'm not generating any impressions. Let's figure out what the issue is. I go in and I pull up search impression share in Google. Now, if it says 0%, right? If it says 0%, I essentially know that people are searching for it. People did search for it, but none of them saw my ad. And that could be because I didn't have enough budget. That could be because I didn't bid high enough. It could be for a variety of reasons. Now, if search impression share says 100% and I have 0 impressions, what does that mean? It means nobody searched for it because my 0 impressions is 100% of the total available impressions in the market. Meaning, for the area I am targeting, there were no available impressions for that keyword, meaning nobody searched for it. Now, if nobody is searching for a keyword, I could bid $1 million a click and it won't matter. I could have a budget of $1 million a day and it wouldn't matter. If nobody searches for it, you can't generate an impression for it. So Jolene's question, what do I do if a keyword's not generating any impressions? It only really applies to the situation in which people are searching, but they are not seeing me. If we're in a situation where no one is searching, we got to find another keyword. Now, what do I do if people are searching, but they're not seeing me? Well, that all comes down to why are they not seeing me? If they are not seeing you because you hit your budget cap every day, your budget, let's say, is $1 a day, one click maxes out your budget and your ad stops running, people can't see your ad. If you are losing impressions due to budget, simply increase your budget and you will get more impressions. Now, if you are not getting impressions because your ad is not high enough, meaning let's say your ad shows up on page 2 every time someone searches because there's so much competition, you only bid a quarter, everyone else is bidding $10. So your ad is on page 2 and nobody goes to page 2. Where's the best place to hide a dead body? On page 2 of Google, right? So if you're on page 2 because your bid is too low and we want to get more impressions, we have to raise our bids. Now you can start to see how these two things are connected. If I raise my bids and I start to spend more money, what do I start to do? Hit my budget cap, right? So these two things are connected. Now, there is a third way of getting more impressions, and that is to increase your target area. If my target area is the entire United States, I will get more impressions on the keyword sell my house fast than if my target area is a 1 mile radius around my house. So we also have to keep that in mind. I don't usually mention that as a primary tactic because most investors have a pretty strict area where they want to invest. But one of the best strategies for getting more out of Google Ads is to increase your target area. If you can target your whole state and somehow do deals in your whole state, you will get more leads and get them for cheaper than you will if your area is, for example, just a couple zip codes. So that is the answer in a sort of fast way of what do you do when you need more impressions? Well, first, you need to figure out which problem you have. Is it a problem that people search but they don't see you, or is it a problem that nobody's searching? Assuming it's problem A, people search and they don't see me, you need to figure out if you're losing impressions due to budget or to rank, and then you either need to increase your budget, increase your rank by increasing your bids. The third strategy, which works for anything, increase your target area. That has a huge effect, but obviously affects your business model as well. I hope that makes sense. Jolene, thank you for being part of the group, as always. And for everybody else, if you ever want to join the REM Marketing Nerds Facebook group, please do. It's at adwordsnerds.com/group. It'll forward you straight there. And as always, if you ever want to talk to me and my team about improving your online marketing for motivated sellers, motivatedsellerleads.com is the place. I love you. And this is Daniel Bear from AdWords Nerds signing off. Cheers.